The guards came to me in the early 90s, gave me some information, and I liked the information. I was drawn to the information. I started to study the information, but I never made it activated. So it was cool to understand and hear about supreme mathematics, but if you didn't activate it, then I was still doing the work of the devil, running around in the streets doing the things that I was doing. Long story short, I got knowledge, understanding years in prison where I went upstate. The first place that I ended up was Clinton Correctional Facility, right? In Clinton Correctional Facility, that was my P-lawn, the same as Patmos, where the word of God came to me again. And the guards explained to me fully what it was to be a 5%er and what the history of the father and the first non-born and all of these different things that I didn't know in the first place to give me a more complete cipher of what I was really dealing with. I used to be in the tailor shop in Clinton sewing clothes for the correctional officers and for the prisoners and had my 120 right there next to me studying. That studying gave me a discipline where I was able to take that and apply that to everything else in life, right? So when I left Clinton Correctional Facility, I ended up in Green Haven. They had a college program in Green Haven. Now, when I was growing up, I couldn't stay in school because I had attention deficit disorder. I couldn't focus on my lessons and complete anything. But now that I had the knowledge of self and the discipline given to me when I was using to do my lessons, to learn my lessons, now I was able to apply that to college. So I went to college in Green Haven. Long story short, I graduated with my associate's degree in 2014 in Woodburn Correctional Facility. I came home in 2016 with 90 credits, right? When I came home, I crafted a 5-year plan. Said, listen, I used to be selling drugs in the community. Now I want to give back to the community, right? I want to be a substance use counselor. So I said, in 5 years, I want to be a substance use counselor. I enrolled in SUNY Orange College. I went there for my KSAC training, right? It took me a year to get that KSAC training. In that year, I got all my loans out of default so I could go back to college. I learned that there's different levels of a KSAC counselor. A master's level, a basic level, an advanced level. It's all of these different levels. So I said, listen, I got to go back to college. So in that process, my loans came out of default, went back to college, got my bachelor's degree in 2019, right? My master's degree in 2020. And the year after that, I became a full KSAC. So that's a 5-year plan, right? So the only reason I'm bringing this up is not to toot my horn. It's because when you make the wisdom of God born, then you activating it and you actually making things happen. So if we're not doing that, then are we really speaking the wisdom of God and making it born? So when it comes to the things like y'all told me in history, when y'all say that the father was, gifted to school by Mayor Lindsay, things of that nature, then why are we not applying that same mathematics in today's time? Why are we not dealing with these same political figures, whether you believe in voting or not? Why do you not have these figures where you can go and speak to them and get the same type of resources? When I was in prison, a lot of mathematics came in and he talked about all of the resources that was in the community. That's how I was able to get into programs that was able to assist me to get my education. I made the wisdom of God born. So if the Father did that, and he taught you the way, he taught you the method that we could get things fixed, like the school, get other schools, get resources, and so forth and so on, why are we not doing that? Bottom line is, all of the goals that we have, they should be SMART goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based, right? Therefore, we can put a time period on what we're trying to accomplish, put the objectives in place to do it, and if it doesn't work, then we can scrap that plan and create a new one. It says that we put our plans together 25,000 years in advance, where we can work 25 years in advance, 5 years in advance, a year in advance. All of these goals can be achieved if we have the proper methods in place. And with that, I say peace.
Hey. Peace to the gods and earth. Hey. I come in righteous name of I be Allah's mathematics, and I see today's mathematics as being wisdom, God, all being born to born. Your ways and actions make knowledge born in who and what you are. Your ways and actions, not what come out your mouth, but the way you carry yourself. I don't care if you're at work, you're at school, you're on the subway station, driving, wherever. Your ways and actions are going to determine who and what you are. Tell us the place where the devil was manufactured. Why did I bring that degree up? Because we have to make knowledge manifested of where this knowledge came from and where it was manufactured. Here in Mecca. Now why? Why do I bring that up? I'm the liaison for the Office of Cultural Management. One of my duties and responsibilities for the Office of Cultural Management is deal with many institutions all across the United States of America. All across. Took a phone call Friday from Victory Alarm. Have Victory Alarm, the Nation of God's Earth is now recognized from the Coward versus Robinson case. Now that we are trying to implement, making sure that the tenets and practices is being implemented right and exact in that institution, we still, at certain institutions, we have staff advisors, which is mainly ran by Chaplain Services, going elsewhere to get 120. Took a phone call that said that the Chaplain Services was giving 120 not just to members of the Nation of God's Earth, just the God Magnificent, who can't reach all the guards in the whole facility. So sometimes you have chaplain brothers asking where they need lessons to be able to study. Know what the chaplains is doing? They're going on Google to get 120. This is one of the things I'm trying to destroy, that I'm striving to destroy. That I strive to try to destroy at least every single day. Took the phone call. The chaplain is giving 120, not just to the Moorish Science Temple in the Nation of Islam, but now the Moorish Science Temple is going around teaching that Wazir Muhammad is now a reincarnation of Noble Ali. These are some of the things that I have to battle when I'm on the telephone and I'm emailing every day of the week as the liaison for the Office of Cultural Management. Bill with a law shot this morning and allow you justice on how to deal with this matter. Because in Virginia and Victory at Law, they have an entity called Grace Inside. Grace Inside is an entity that reviews all the cultural religions in the state of Virginia. You know what I'm saying? And find out how they should be implemented into the institution. So, building with a law shop, you know what I'm saying, allow you justice this morning. Listen, they need to get a correct set of 120. They need to have a right and exact set of 120. All right? For your wisdom, knowledge, degree, and Supreme Master Balance to have U dash, N dash, I dash, verse, that's not enough Supreme Alphabet. So it's all about making sure that 120 of these gods and earths is receiving all across, in all 11 regions, all over the world, is right and exact. It took us about two to 3 years for us to agree on which set of 120 we should share with gods and earths all across the United States that's asking for 120. So now we've been sending them. So tomorrow morning I will be sending to Grace Inside and the chaplains to Coffeewood Correctional Center. This is the 120 that should be given to anybody who's asking for 120. And it shouldn't be given to brothers of the Moorish Science Temple and the Nation of Islam. That's one. Anybody, go on Amazon right now. Look up 120 vessels. There's a book by Allah Supreme Just Born that we have gods and earth find all across the United States of America. I had a god named Hakim. In Indiana, I was also up building with yesterday with. Because I've been building with the God now for about understanding culture week. Come to find out, well, where you get your 120 from? You know what I'm saying? We went through some 120, he told me he got it from this book. This was the book I believe I reported to the nation last year. You know what I'm saying, that we investigate. That's not right as that. We got brothers going out here, we got God's earth going out here buying 120. We have a duty to make sure that this knowledge is spread correctly. To make sure it's spread right and exact. In North Carolina, because we're going to the regional conference next month, we're going to be building upon this. The book by John Ali III, if anybody don't know, that's Elijah Muhammad's third son, called Knowledge Itself of the Black Man. They deemed that to be the book to be recognized, as they call it in North Carolina, corporate worship. Had to deal with that cipher. Now I said, no, if any book should be recognized here in this said cipher, it should be the true history of Allah and his 5%. Now that book has been added. These are some of the things that the Office of Cultural Management is going around here doing, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that these teachings are being implied right and exact. And on that cipher, I'm on the same page. Pace, I say every month I always come and let y'all know where we at when it comes to the prefabricated building account.
Freedom man, they want to talk so much.
We at $7,256. It's been like that for a while now. Just so you know, if anybody want to go back and view the tapes, we pay $13 a month for maintenance fees, and there's another fee that we pay on $3. It's $13. But I'm going to continue to let you guys know where we at when it comes to that account and where we moving forward with. I believe we had all 3 inspections made now, and we should be all coming together soon to find out which company we're going to use, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to putting the structure of the prefabricated building in the back of the law school in Mecca. This has to be done. Last year, if you know what I'm saying, if y'all don't remember, we had days when it was raining. You know what I'm saying? We had to pack everybody in the law school in Mecca. We need a building to have our own universal parlors. Instead of us paying $570 a month to these other institutions. So we can have our universal parlor. We have 70 by 80 feet of space in that backyard to put a building. That's not including the vendor spot. The vendor spot. I mean, if you come down to the side of the back door of the building, going across, that's 80 feet by 70 feet. We have enough space to put that building. Now that all the inspections is done, hopefully we're going to be coming together and we can be able to present something by the end of the year of where we're going with this, you know what I'm saying, with this prefabricated building project. Of course, phase 1 is still the restructuring of a law school and redoing the concrete, repaving the yard. That's still part of phase 1. The second phase is going to be the prefabricated building project. If anybody wants to know what's going on with the books, me, Office of Cultural Management, that goes to Divine Prince, Allah You Justice, our treasurer, Universal Shakem, Allah Shah, who's our program coordinator, as well as Merciful. It's about making sure we do everything right in the ZAC. I bring this up for a reason. Anytime anybody comes and asks for a goal for a particular type of project, we need to know where the project is for, so it can be properly documented. It's about doing things right in the ZAC. Nobody will have no mystery knowing what happened to what money. Anytime you want to come to see the books, I always told you, you can give me a call or you can come. We meet the first and third Sunday of every month at the Knowledge Hour at a law school in Mecca. It's going to be no mystery of what happened with no funds. Anytime the IRS comes down, they want to see our books, we got to make sure our books is right in the ZAC. Or you can get shut down. Just had a guard told me about an incident how in Massachusetts $500 was missing. They had to recover, find out where that $500 went to. Because when the end of the fiscal year comes, you have to make sure your numbers is right in the ZAC. So that's what it's about now at 2122 Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard, which is the law and justice way. Making sure everything is done right in the ZAC when it comes to the financial institution and when it comes to the program. And with that, I'm going to say, hey, freedom.
Well, freedom man.
Hey, I love y'all. I almost died. Y'all. I'm telling you something. I had a appendix infection. Why you breaking my cycle like that? Hold on. But anyway, I had a hole in my appendix, right? And I almost died. And then I had the hiccups. Oh, let me deal with it. This is my man, Universal Shamgar Day. Let me make that born. This is wisdom, God, this is myself, Lord. Salah you, God. And I'm here to tell you that we don't have to cry no more. I took over the whole park and the neighborhood. All right? I got Mecca Bello Park. So on Sundays, that park belongs to us now. Sundays and Mondays. Now I took over that park. Took over that park for years now. I took the park from the park department. I started cleaning up. When nobody didn't clean up, I cleaned up. When the park department come, they didn't have no more job. Peter took the job. So what I'm telling y'all, we can have parliaments, rallies, in that park. I'm gonna do in that park the rising of the nations. You know I cooked in every nation. You talk about Black Panther, I cooked for the Black Panther Party. Nationals. I'm the nation cook. I used to cook all me and ALR used to have all the food for the children after the rally. Now we passed that now. We passed that. Allah said don't beg nobody. So I went out and got it. Savior got Roy Wilkins Park. Spring got Springfield Park. I got Roy Wilkins. On Sundays and Mondays, the park is on. You gotta start planning, having rallies over there. Now talk about my school, 2122. I got brothers who come in there and make a driveway for buses to come and see us. A law museum. Teachers of the brothers that's not here no more. One went home. You have to respect the ones that build that bridge. Nobody gonna look no lines. Everybody gonna stand in place. What I'm gonna do, I told y'all, Nation Family Union. You ever heard of that one? The 5%ers Family Union. Brothers from North, East, West, and South. I'm gonna do a family union out there in Roy Wilkins, at the Bella Park. I got a brother I brought with me, his name is Black God. He's doing useful land. He's making gardens. He's gonna take over a lot. He can do a lot of gardening. He's beautiful. Brother right there.
Praise God. Amen.
When you out there teaching civilization, goes to the side, science and everything like that, you your God, he's his God, he's the rich. Like my man John said, you your God. Right? You build the way you build. You want to tell me when we talk about building? We build each and every day, each and every way. Mentally just as well as physically. When you come out in society, you got to do it 85%, 10%, and 5%. That's the society. Lower class, middle class, and higher class. I came from the pits of hell. I'm an offspring of the first one. At the head of Medusa. I trained right here, around Doom Squad. Right here, in the quality building store. A lot of life was being threatened. We had to get up out our bed. Medina, the land of warriors, king of kings, master, God of gods, created